Hello everyone, Vicky Verley here, rock and roll prophetess, coming at you to talk about the full moon, which is occurring on June 13th, 2014, Friday the 13th. I wanted to just say a couple words about how I've been MIA. I was in the hospital, and I may do another whole video just about that, but I want to thank everybody for all your well-wishing and your donations and everything while I was in the hospital. And it was an intense experience. I was definitely, to quote Robert Plant, walking side by side with death, and I actually thought I might leave the earth plane. It was pretty intense there for a while, but I guess I'm here. Another thing, I have some issues with my stomach. Makes a lot of gurgling noises, but that's actually a good thing. The doctors say it means everything's starting to work in there. But you may hear some like gurgling noises on the video, and just try to disregard it, because it's just stuff moving around in my guts and normal stuff. You may hear a little bit of it. But a lot of things happened during that. It was some pretty intense stuff. Overall, I think more than anything, I was humbled by the whole thing. I was extremely humbled by the whole thing. And I'm extremely in awe of these light workers, these healthcare workers, and how they silently go about every day in service to helping people, these healthcare people, the nurses in particular. I mean, yeah, there's a few bad apples, but the majority of them are just so giving people, so kind. So it really does take a special kind of person, and they don't get any accolades from it. You know, it's this quiet light working that they're doing, going about and helping people. I was very struck and taken by that. And one last little comment on the day of, it's crazy, like I do these readings off the cuff, as I'm about to do right now for the full moon chart. But I was in the hospital, I was getting conscious right around the new moon, so I went back and listened to my own reading from the last chart, and it was crazy. The things that I was saying was just like, it was my own voice reaching into the future and talking to myself. It was so crazy. I was talking about the South Node conjunct Venus, and how these people are going to come in that owe you a karmic favor or owe you a karmic debt, but they're only going to be in your life for a couple minutes, and in and out, and help you. And that's exactly what I was experiencing with these different healthcare people that I was dealing with. And, you know, of all things, too, it all occurred in the sign of Aries, which in my natal chart is my 6th house, house of health. So, you know, it was just a lot of stuff, and I really want to thank everybody for writing me and commenting and donating, and it really meant a lot to me. But okay, let's go ahead and get a look at this bad boy. Well, you know, the first thing I want to say about this, you know, it's Friday the 13th, and everybody's, ooh, ooga booga, Friday the 13th, let's get all something to get freaked out and scared about. You know, and I have found, here's what I think about Friday the 13th, because I've had some really great stuff happen on Friday the 13th. And I almost feel like, I know there's origins about it. I forget, I should have looked that up, but I wasn't really planning on talking that deep into it. Here's what the assessment that I've made with it. It's sort of comparable to Saturn. How people can get really scared and freaked out about Saturn, where I've had some wonderful things happen on Saturn transits. And it's as if, you know, Saturn is karma for good or for ill. And it's almost how I feel about Friday the 13th, because I've had some really great things happen on Friday the 13th too. But there is the element of it being in the collective unconscious, you know, and we put the fear on it, just as we put, you know, whatever. We put New Year's Day is a day that's in our conscious. It's going to be this certain thing, you know, it's the new beginning day. And we put Friday the 13th as the bad luck day or whatever. But, you know, it really is what you make it. And I want to say, you know, don't feed fear. Let's not try to feed fear into this day. Let's take a look at this moon, because you know what strikes me right away is these repeating numbers. And well, the full moon point is at 22 Sag, also very close to that 26-degree Sag, that portal, that galactic center portal. But it's a 22. That's that master number. So we've got 22, 22, Jupiter 22. So these 20, that's what really grabbed me right away, was these 22s all popping out. And again, that is that master number. So I want to say that there will be some sort of like a mastery thing. Some sort of mastery can be achieved through this. Or really more like a clarity and understanding. Because the sun still is in the sign of Gemini, which is, you know, your mental capacities, thinking and everything. Sag is 9th house, higher mind. So it's like the higher mind and the mental mind here, of the monkey mind, you might say, are going to have a meeting here. They're going to have a meeting, and there's going to be some enlightenment with the full moon. And it's also going to be involving Jupiter. And I forget what you call this. I think it's like an inconjunct or semi-sextile. That's not really all that, it's correct terminology you could look up later. But I just, it's 22 and it's involved here. It's definitely involved. And so Jupiter, again, is going to bring Jupiter ruler of Sag, where the full moon is occurring, But also it's in the sign of Cancer. So it's going to bring some kind of nurturing, healing stuff. So that's like the main thing that I'm getting from it. The other thing is these 27s. So we got, of course, the nodes at 27, but we also have Pallas Athena at 27. Wasn't there another 27? Or maybe not. Well, these 22s and 27s and 17s, that was the other one. Excuse me, not 27. We got Chiron at 27, or excuse me, 17 Pisces, Vesta at 17 Libra, Venus at 17 Taurus. Yes, it was the 22s and the 17s. So that there's those repeating numbers, and there's something about that. And maybe these numerologists out there might want to throw some comments down about it. I know not that much about numerology. I know 22 is the master number. 17, of course, would boil down to an 8. 1 plus 7 is 8, which is Saturn's number. I know that much. But there's something about these numbers too. So in the 17s, we've got Chiron, we've got Venus, and we've got Vesta. Okay, well, Chiron and Venus is the healing of love and relationship stuff here. That's what that's talking about. Oh, and Saturn, excuse me, Saturn here. Venus opposed Saturn. I believe that was one thing I did want to bring up because, yeah, Venus opposed Saturn is exact that day according to my ephemeris here. So there is an exact opposition, and it's happening right at that time, 1744, 1744. So that's a powerful point as well. There's this Venus-Saturn opposition. Venus is love, happiness, joy. Saturn is duty, responsibility, oppression. Venus, this is love stuff. With Chiron involved too, this is definitely some major love stuff. Opposed Saturn, I mean, some relationships will be put to the test. That's something I want to say for sure about this. And they're in fixed signs too, like this. So we've got Venus in Taurus and Saturn in Scorpio. So fixed signs can be stubborn, There could be relationship issues where we have a stalemate. Neither sign is willing to give. With Venus in Taurus, money, we could be fighting over money. If it's just a real mundane thing like this. Well, how are we going to spend our money? Or if we have joint finances in a relationship, that can bring up some issues for you. The fact that Chiron is involved, to me, I want to say that think about where you're coming from. If you are in a position where you're having a standoff or having an argument with the people you love here, or people that you're involved with financially too, because Saturn is, the banks and everything, and Venus is money. It could even be like you're having an argument with your bank or something like this. Whatever the case may be, I feel like when Chiron's involved, this is always to me a sign that maybe you're getting all worked up isn't really, okay, say this is you and your mate, and you're fighting over money, okay? Maybe what you're getting so emotional and in an upheaval about, upset about, maybe it's not really all that about what's happening right here and right now. Because that Chiron is like those old wounds. So maybe this is some baggage stuff you're carrying in and you're throwing into the mix. So, I mean, I know you feel strongly, because these are fixed signs, you may feel very strongly that you're right in this matter. But if everybody would just stop and think about, is this really all about what's happening right here, right now? Or am I bringing in some past wounds or some past baggage? Or am I getting overly upset or overly emotional because of what happened before? And and Chiron, you're bringing the hurt from the past into the present. That's what I want to say about it. And also in the sign of Pisces is always, illusional. And it's always like, not really in the truth. It's more our imaginary story that we've made up about it. Or our victim story. Because Pisces energy, Ken, is very much associated, with the martyr. Oh, I'm the poor victim, and look what happened to me. And why do I keep, every man I ever meet doesn't have any money, or treats me badly, or, every woman is a gold digger after me. These kind of things, these kind of stories, these kind of patterns that are coming over and over again. It's a time to maybe take a look at that. And before you get so drawn in and fixed, before you say anything always is or always happens, or you always do this, or you always, it's always you, let's take always out of the equation. Let's look at the here and now. Because, Sag and Gemini are pretty much lighter energy in the moment. And Gemini definitely is in the moment. It's what's happening right here, right now. Look around you. Where are we at? What's going on right this minute? On the negative side, can over-intellectualize stuff and not have the emotional content. But Sagittarius are pretty lighthearted people too, and the energy of Sag is pretty lighthearted. And on a Sag full moon, you could definitely release stuff or have a little laugh about it. Well, God, why was I getting so upset about that? And just kind of the drama we create in our life. You have these moments where you can just laugh at yourself, oh, isn't life, what, don't we just create so much drama for ourselves when it's, because Sag energy is pretty lighthearted. They just let things roll off their back. They don't get into these deep, dark places of Scorpio and, Taurus is not so deep and dark, but they don't hold on like that. They don't hold on like that. Sag is okay, tomorrow's another day, whatever. We'll work it out, or, they're just real lighthearted. The other thing about the Sagittarius, too, people are very much physical oriented, a lot of sports, a lot of activity. So again, that could just be an outlet. If you are feeling, really angry and stuff, maybe do something. Go for a hike, a ride, a bike ride, whatever you like to do, work out, whatever your case may be. But go do something physical, sweat it out, and kind of do some releasing like that. These sevens too, it's 7, 17, 27, 17, 27, 7, 17, 17. So there's all these sevens, which is Neptune again. I know that much. Again, I'm not the major numerologist here. But 7 is Neptune, it's Pisces. It's spiritual, it's psychic. 22 is the master number. So I feel like there are some higher things going on here. There are some higher things that are going to, we could have some enlightenment about. It could be a major enlightenment time for sure. Another thing is get out of your head too, because Geminis are very much in their head. They're Geminis are always on the ball, on the spot. Do math in their head. They're just ding, ding, ding. Like a pinball machine, ding, ding, ding. Always firing. All their neurons are always firing. With all this Pisces energy and this Neptune Chiron stuff, it's a wide orb, but it draws me in too. It's pretty strong vibe over here, and the sevens and everything. It is a time to maybe go more towards spirit and get out of your head. And there's that quote, and I want to bring up that quote of you cannot solve a problem with the same mindset that you created it in. And I think that could be a very key thing for this full moon. If you're running stuff in your head, running over in your head over and over again, and also those conversations about how, well, here's what I'm going to tell him, or here's what I should have said. If I had to do over again, here's what I would have said, and running it over and over and over again, these old wounds or this fight, I'm going to show him, and I'm going to outwit them, and I'm more clever, and I'm a better arguer, and I'm a better, I don't think that you can think your way through it. Well, I mean, you can get in there and do that till the cows come home, but I don't think that's going to give you the healing or the clarity that you want, or resolve anything. I think that's going to just keep you on the hamster wheel, running round and round and round and round. That's, running around in your brain, insane in the membrane kind of vibe. So you want to get out of that. And then also with the sevens and Pisces and Neptune energy being so strong, that's water. And water always does seem to wash it all away. Or for me, maybe I have a lot of water in my chart, but it just does bring the clarity. It does bring the peace of mind. It does quiet the mind. You need to quiet your mind here. There's not going to be a mental problem resolution for these problems, I don't feel. And then while we're on the topic of Sun and Gemini, the ruler of Gemini, of course, is Mercury. And Mercury has already moved right into Cancer here. So again, it's talking about Mercury communicating, speaking, all sorts of communication, but coming from a place of Cancerian energy, which is strongly related to emotions, nurturing, caring, and again with the Jupiter there at the 22 in the Cancer, caring, nurturing, so strong. if you are, you're just like, I don't care, I'm pissed, and we're gonna have it out here. I don't care what Vicky says about going to the water. I'm pissed, and I'm gonna let him have it. So if you are in that mode and you just can't let go of it, and that happens. That happens to everybody. I mean, I've been there. I know better, but I just sometimes you just can't stop yourself. And it's just like, and with Scorpio, that anger could well up there. Especially Scorpio, this retrograde stuff with the car. Again, I'm feeling like we're just picking up this old stuff that's been festering, and it's just gonna let it rip. So if you are gonna try, go ahead and have it out. You just can't drop it for now. You need to release it. You need to get it out of you, and you don't want to try the physical way, because often if you have a lot of pent up negativity, those emotions, the best way is through a lot of physical activity, because that's that Mars energy where you hold your anger. And you can just, bam, get it out of you, and you're physically tired, and like, I'm just too tired to fight. And it does kind of get your endorphins going and get you in a different mindset and everything. But at any rate, Mercury with Cancer, try to go with the kind words. Try to, even though you're pissed or whatever, you're trying to make your point, try to come at it with the softer, nurturing, not hurt the other person's feelings. If this is a romantic relationship, remember that you do love this person, or you did love this person at one time. And don't come from this place of, I want to hurt you. I'm hurt and I want to hurt you. I'm going to make you pay. That's the kind of vibe I'm kind of getting out of this. And, maybe like I'm sort of a sidestepper on those things anymore. When I was younger, I was definitely... in that I could get into fight mode and like warrior mode, but I don't know if it's just mellowing with age or as I'm coming more into spirit. I'm more of a sidestep it. Let's go meditate. Let's go get in the water. Let's go. I ride my bike a lot, or get out and do the gardening and stuff, which I won't be doing because of these wounds I have here. But anyways, I made it through. I'm glad to be alive. So yeah, full moon. Big thing is stepping away from the mental, allowing a more higher mind to come in. And with this, the vibration of Gemini, because I've had those things. I'm just pissed, I'm just pissed at somebody, and I'm running it around in my head. And a lot of times I'll just go sit in nature, and it's just almost like it just washes over me. And I have to just laugh at myself, like, how foolish you're being. And I'm not calling anybody foolish, and don't get pissed off and email me or comment or anything. But sometimes, when you're so in your head, you just really can't see it. Or if it is like a any kind of mental thing that you're trying to work on. So anything, if you're like writing a dissertation or any other kind of Gemini, Mercury things. Plus, Mercury's being retrograded too. So again, there's that tie to the past again. Are we going to bring up all the past stuff? Or some ongoing thing like this? It's kind of like, well, maybe it's not going to... you're not going to come... I just want to tell you that I don't think you're going to come to the answer you want. And I keep wanting to reiterate, you're not going to solve a problem in the same mindset that you've created it. So you do have to get a different perspective on it, a different slant. Running it over and over in your head is just fruitless. It's just fruitless. It's frustrating you. It's irritating you. It's that old again, too, of drinking the poison and expecting the other person to drop dead. You're running over, here's what I should have said. I should have told him this, this, and this. And if you're running over these conversations about how you could have, defeated this enemy, imaginary or whatever enemy, let that all go. Just let that all go. Move forward in the future. There's nothing you can do. Just, try to make different choices in the future and for different outcomes, But, definitely some love stuff coming up. Some old loves could just pop right in, like some of these people that you just think you can never get rid of with Venus and Saturn, especially in the fixed signs of Scorpio and this involvement of Chiron here. These old wounds could just pop up again. And in these cases, sometimes the lesson is not to just regurgitate all that crap up again. Oh, well, he's here again, and well, and try to be the victor or paint your hero story. Maybe the lesson is to just say, no, I'm just not going to go down that path again. I don't need to go down that path again. I mean, a lot of times with Chiron too, these are these wounds that are healing, and then you're finally getting over this bad relationship or whatever it might be, and then you just rip the scab right open again. And that's what this could be. You know, somebody could pop up again, and then you've come so far. You know, you've come so far in your healing, and are you going to just rip that scab right open again and let them just open up? You know, open your heart wide open again, so they can just stab you in the heart again. I mean, for some people that may be the message as well. Okay, so lots to think about. Still, we've got the stuff in Libra. I wanted to go on a couple things that I haven't covered. You know, on my main page here, my Rock and Roll Prophetess page, I have a couple other channels, and the first one is my this over here, this with the cartoon face is my. It's Vicky Verley, but it's my learning songs for kids stuff. So if any of you have children or grandchildren, you might want to check out this channel. It's a bunch of kids songs that I wrote, and a lot of it revolves around the Green Glen Gang, which I've always wanted to see made into like a movie or a cartoon special or something. So if any of you are involved in that and, you know, would like to give me some, you know, steps in the right direction, I'd really appreciate that. But if nothing else, if you have little kids, and, you know, check it out. And again, from my main page you can find it. And then also my VV Creative Shorts, more music oriented, a lot of keyboard lessons and stuff like that. But also, I write music. I'm a writer. You know, I don't consider myself a lead vocalist or anything. I mean, I sing on these videos because somebody has to sing them. But I'm a writer, and I would love, if there's any artists out there looking for material to record, I would totally love if somebody would record some of my songs. You can find my original stuff under music here. And like this one in particular, one of my rock buddies said, I could even see this being like a country crossover song. So anybody who's an artist or looking for material, and I even wrote a Christmas song, which is back on my kids' channel. So if anybody's looking to put out a Christmas album and you want to record a Christmas song, you know, go ahead and check it out. And if you're interested, I would be so happy to hear from you. And then one last thing, of course, I gotta plug my book, The Tarot in the Modern World. And people have really been buying the book, and it's been selling, and I've been getting a lot of great feedback. If you enjoy my readings on YouTube and the way I speak, it's in plain, simple talk, then you probably are going to enjoy this book. It gives upright and reverse positions. It gives, one of the big things that I do in this book, and I try to do in the readings, is show you how to connect everything together. Just like with the chart, you don't just go around and read each planet one by one. You got to kind of tie all the stuff together, and that's what I try to do in my tarot book, which is available on Amazon. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching my videos, donating, liking, commenting. I am back up for business here doing readings. I'm slowly getting back to everybody who you know, was trying to get readings from me while I was in the hospital, so I'm playing catch up for a little while. But if you do want to order a reading, I'm about a week and a half out of booking. You know, I'd be glad to hear from you. You can go to my site and order the reading. Thank you all for watching my videos, sharing, commenting, liking. And remember, you are love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon.